Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Council. So, since episode 5 drops tomorrow, I figured I would try and get episode 4 done tonight. And last we left off, Louis was in a bit of trouble. And I'm feeling rather crappy about the fact that I was the one that... Yeah.
I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better. If you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Okay,
Our
this I don't
desire is
recognize.
to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
So apparently he was wrong about which one was waxing and which one was waning.
Filthy swine! I'm going to open this damn door and skin you alive! You're not going to get the better of us!
Mother?
Louis, you've come around. How do you feel?
It hurts. Mother? I can't feel my arm.
There's a reason for
Louis,
that.
I had to cauterize it with what I could find.
Where's my arm?
We'll get through this, Louis. Don't worry. I think I found a solution. You'll see.
We gotta leave. No, don't put your arm in there.
Louis, we can't leave without it. It's our last chance. I need to see this through to the end. I must do it. We've done it, Louis. Look.
Stubborn as a mule.
Come on, up you get. I'll help you. Easy does it. You've lost a lot of blood.
And now what?
Let's take what we came for.
Wait. I've gotta know what I did wrong.
I'm curious about that
That
too.
is one fearsome mechanism. In fact, if I hadn't watched you beforehand, I would never have found the right combination.
Tell me, where did I go wrong? The 3 nails? Yes, it's true. They let you open the iris.
Yes, but you still need to find the right theme, don't you? The fresco was a trap. Apart from the fresco, everything pointed to the crucifixion. The things that make it possible to activate the mechanism are associated with the crucifixion. The cross to activate the mechanism, and the nails to choose a date.
What did you do once you uncovered the iris?
I matched the icon of the crown of thorns with the town of Golgotha, where
Okay,
the
and that's what I
crucifixion
did
took
too.
place.
Damn. I was sure I'd figured out how the lock worked.
Of course, Louis. But you still had to choose the right
I
theme from
did.
the start. It was the crucifixion. I matched
It was the mood
symbol,
I fucked
the
up
crown
on.
of thorns, to the place where Christ was nailed to the cross.
I realized this
Golgotha.
already.
Then I had to link the crown of thorns to the date of the crucifixion, according to the exegesis. But I failed to understand the first time. With that theme in mind, I chose 26M, which represents the 26th of March. To conclude, I had to use the armillary sphere to find the moon corresponding to the day of the crucifixion, which turned out to be in the first quarter. All that was left to do was to link all those elements on the same axis.
That was frustrating. Holy shit.
But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around. Be careful, Mother. As if me saying that will make any difference. Knowing Mortimer, I wouldn't be surprised if he rigged his crypt with traps.
So you think the door is not enough?
Do you want to wager your other hand?
You've got a point there. We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The Lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Now that you mention it, I did catch Von Volner in the middle of an altercation with Piaggi.
What?
Von Volner blamed His Eminence for having supplied Mortimer with all the lances in the Vatican's possession.
If Mortimer has all of them in his possession, it's not going to help us.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not.
Boy,
You
there's
take
some
care of
lip
getting
sync
the
issues
lance.
here.
It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
Hang on a second.
What's the matter?
Why did you shoot Emily's sister?
Do you really think now is the right time for this?
I want to know, Mother. Why did you betray her?
Listen, Louis. I don't think you've really understood my interest in the Al-Azif. It's not just simple curiosity about some old relic.
You tried to kill her.
And I had no choice, for crying out loud. It must not fall into the hands of the demons, or we are all doomed.
Can I
Don't
tell
you
her that
see?
Von Volner told me
Listen,
that they
I
had
don't
it?
know exactly what it contains, but I prefer to be one step ahead.
And that
If
they figured out
they
and-
want it.
Not only do they have it already, but they figured it out because she betrayed Emma. Self-fulfilling prophecy, Emma didn't die, they got the information out of her, and she was more than happy to supply the information because of the betrayal.
There must be a reason, and even if I don't know what it is, I want to stop them for safety's sake, no matter what.
Nothing will stop you if I understand correctly. Not even...
Enough, Louis. If you could see the extent of their power as I do, then you would understand what I'm saying.
All right, we'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
Well, at least I did mention the letter from Piaggi. So, do I have to... Won't they be a little curious about where my hand is? What the hell was that? that one. That way I can get upstairs real quick and maybe up to Piaget's room. I have no idea where the rest of the manuscripts and notes are, though. Unless I'm missing something obvious, anyway. Washington. Piaget is coming up here soon. And yeah, I will be disappointed if Piaget doesn't at least comment on it.
The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself. The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself.
The Lying Girl by Boucher. Here's a painting of mischievous eroticism.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Alrighty. Can I visit Emily, maybe?
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling me.
If they're all in here, I'll be stunned. Oh, yep, there's the Cardinal. Is he about?
Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the Lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You are not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I heard you speak to Mr. von Wollner about it, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about it.
That was a private conversation.
You are happy?
How could I have known that he was listening to us?
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can.
Your Eminence, are you all right? Your Eminence, are you with me? Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
His nose is bleeding.
So, you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
Your Eminence, you're worrying me. What is happening to you?
Nothing, Louis. Just a moment of weakness, but I'm better now.
Yeah, no.
I am all ears. You are looking for the lance. You should know, you are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
No, Your Eminence. I thought you'd be the only one able to help me with it.
Your words lack conviction, Louis. If I'm asking you all these things.
Order. Wait a minute. So, Holm is speaking to... Yeah. Holm is the one actually talking to me right now.
Your own good, you know. You have no reason to lie to me. Imagine you find it, which I don't doubt, given how resolute you are when you've got something on your mind. Then what? What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
I need it.
Why?
You won't understand.
Try me, Louis.
I need to protect myself with it.
Louis, I thank you.
Talented.
For your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His
I thought it wasn't actually
gushed
blood,
out,
though.
covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind.
No.
Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
And yeah, I will say this. I think Holm is... I don't think Mortimer is the demon. Artistic depictions. Piaget's room, maybe? Or maybe... No, not my own. Von Volner would be a good bet. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, this is Piaget's room.
The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself.
His Holiness Pope Pius VI, by Pompeo, but Destruction of the Temple of Jerusalem by Francisco Hayez. The Roman destruction by Satan summoning his legions. This is rather surprising for the decoration of a cardinal's room.
Let's see.
Love Triumphant by Caravaggio. Now there's someone for whom the sex of angels is no mystery.
Yeah, Von Volner would be the best bet. So it'd be red-tipped.
President George Washington.
So Washington is unavailable. Yeah, those are all her letters. Oh, and she even had the room adjacent to Washington's. Oh. Didn't even notice that collector coin every time I passed it.
Monsieur Johann von Volner. It seems like he isn't here. Chemistry set. That's not surprising coming from von Volner.
How did I not notice that before?
So, let's see what Volner has in his bookcase. Not surprising. Most of these works are in German, and one in Latin. Longini militis fabulum. Ah, what have we here?
It looks like a kind of biography on Longinus the Centurion. Truly, Volnir has done everything he can to get information about that lance.
I'd better keep this one, though.
Sacred text?
Richet?
Damn, that's all I need. Maybe he knows something about the lance.
What happened? You've lost...
Okay, finally! Someone said it.
Your hand.
It's an accident. To tell you the truth,
Accident? Are you joking? You have lost your hand, Louis. We've got to do something.
It's been done. I've been given treatment, rest assured. I admit that I didn't truly realize the consequences of my recklessness. So just stay calm.
Yes, of course. But Louis, it's your hand.
I know. Please, there's nothing
It's
I
my
can do
hand
about it.
and I'm
I know.
calm.
I made a mistake, but it's too late now. It was an accident. I only wanted to inspect the place to find my mother and, well, I fell into a trap. The result is appalling, I grant you that, but at least I can guarantee that we're all perfectly safe here on this island.
And you joke about it? Am I dreaming?
No, sir, but let's be realistic. So many world leaders brought together in one place, and there are no safeguards? The error indeed stems from my recklessness. I went looking here and there in search of my mother, and I had an accident. It's my own fault.
Fine. We will drop this incident. Why are you here?
Although this makes the fact that, yeah, this really makes it a lot more suspicious that Piaggi, or rather Holm, had no reaction.
What are you doing in my room?
Well, sir, I see you have some captivating books, and you seem to be rather interested in the famous Longinus.
It's, what's it to do with you?
I overheard you speaking with Piaggi. What are you two up to, exactly?
No, Oh, fine. Yes. We are looking for the Holy Lance. That imbecile has given Mortimer all the ones kept in the private collection of the Holy See. But it's not what you think. Hang on a minute. You're the one looking for the lance.
No,
Don't take me for a fool. You are looking for the Holy Lances.
I'm not looking for the lances of Longinus von Volnir. I'm looking for the lance of Longinus. The one that pierced Christ's side.
You are playing with fire.
Don't take it the wrong way. I'll leave you all the copies. Don't worry about that.
Good answer. What are you playing at, Richet? Mortimer's the one who has that cursed lance.
How long have you been looking for it?
I see. You want it, and so you plan to steal it from Mortimer.
For a long time. Isn't that right?
Why, you little swine! You're planning to give it to Sir Gregory. You're looking to double-cross me and Piaggi too.
What on earth is he talking about? Mr. von Volnir, would you be so kind as to calm yourself down, please? All I'm trying to do is make amends for His Eminence's errors. Sir Gregory should surround himself with better people if you want my opinion, but Piaggi is a friend of my mother's.
What? You want to help Piaggi?
I just told you that's what my mother would do if she was here. I heard you in the corridor, and he seemed to be in serious trouble because of the lances. I'm only trying to help him.
All right, Louis. I thought you were trying to manipulate me. But please, excuse me. I got a little...
No such thing as try on this one.
But you can't get ahead by staying in the shadows on a case like this. There are already several of us searching for the lance of Longinus. And it would be smarter to pool our information.
Unfortunately, I've barely made any progress. I'm still trying to find out what the original lance really looked like.
Let me reassure you, we've all been there, given the number of copies there are in existence. It also took us quite some time to discover its true shape. Many believe the central part of the head of the lance to be covered in gold, whereas, in truth, Its center is made of an alloy of copper and iron.
That does make sense. In those times, a centurion wouldn't have any chance of possessing a lance made of
Plus,
gold.
gold would be a...
That is the perversion of Christian idolatry. A copper lance could not have been noble enough to pierce the side of Christ.
Anyway, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Louis. Keep me posted as to your research. We're bound to end up recovering it.
I'm counting on it. See you later.
So, esotericism, I believe?
I managed to get the biography of Longinus the Centurion.
Sacred text?
Let's see what it can teach me. An interesting passage here tells me that the lance is engraved with the symbol of the first Christians, the fish.
So, sacred text and esotericism. I wonder if Washington's still in here. Doesn't look like it.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
I'm trying to remember whether there Oh, it might actually be in his study.
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form?
Wait,
charming.
Yep. Longinus.
Saint Longinus. Let's take a closer look at his lance. It is shaped like a leaf, like the real lance, maybe. How can I be sure?
With a fish.
No, this is too easy. Mortimer's trying to throw me off the
track
again. It seems too visible to be true. Impossible not to see the statue on first glance, given its size. And Mortimer has no interest in making the shape of the true lance so easy to see.
I think this statue does represent Longinus, armed with a lance that wounded Jesus, the Holy Lance. How can I find out if this is an exact representation? There's no way of being certain of it.
Hey, looks like there's a symbol engraved on the tip.
The fish.
Yes, a fish. The Christian fish, no doubt. It can't be a coincidence. It must have been done on purpose. Huh. Good thing I took a closer look.
There's the minor bird.
Honey. I couldn't have hoped for better.
Okay, I cannot go into his study again. Fair enough. Collector coin.
Pardon me, monsieur, but I have work to do.
Let's see. Peru's room. I believe.
Dear Monsieur Peru.
All right. I've retrieved everything.
Oh, another coin. Oh no, Carmelite water. Oh.
Great. Honey.
Oh, sure. Now I get something.
Dear Monsieur...
All right. I've retrieved everything.
Another painting on the Massacre of the Innocents?
The Massacre of the Innocents, but by Van Harlem. I think that Mortimer likes to play mind games with his guests. The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad.
Dear friend,
I have a feeling Holm is the only demon here. And that's if it's accurate to call them demons. Because it may very well not be. It's hard to say. Oh yeah, I already went into Emily's room. That's right. Oh, Godoy's baby. Nope. Alright. Mine was the only room I didn't check, and I'm pretty sure I've exhausted everything in there.
Blind Oedipus. Blinded himself. What a tragic destiny. Saturn devouring his son. Good God, how awful. Crucifixion of St. Peter. He was crucified upside down, out of humility. Surprising for an entrance hall.
Hey, mysterious notes finally. Oh, there's Washington.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
I'm back on the trail of my mother again. I don't have time to explain, but would you know anything about the Holy Lance?
That's good news. But be careful, Louis. You might end up getting noticed.
Do you know anything or not?
No, I regret I don't. But why not ask von Wallner? Theology is his field, after all.
That's an idea. In that case, I'll try and find him.
You are keeping up the good work, I see. But I'm telling you, keep your guard up. Everyone is rather on edge right now.
You're right. Thanks for everything, Mr. President.
See you later.
Boy, that's a little jarring transition. Or rather, the lack of transition is kind of jarring.
Great. Honey.
Seems like they kind of scatter stuff around, too.
All right. I've retrieved everything. Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
There we go.
The Company by Rembrandt. The Fall of Phaeton. Another painting by Rubens. Poor Phaeton, struck by lightning for borrowing his father's chariot and losing control of it. Moral, don't steal Dad's chariot. Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
That was the first time I've actually opened that one?
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Yeah, I will say it could also be a double bluff on Mortimer's behalf. Where it's so obvious that you can't help but think, well, that's too obvious. Or after as many times through here as I have been, you'd think I would have figured out the exact route by now. Without having to do any trial and error. Alright, so, yeah, I hit one of each. Von Wallner, the statue in his room. And the text Von Volner had. So let's see. Body of copper. Head of red. Yeah, shaft of copper, head of red.
This sarcophagus is engraved with the name of Clemens III. Good God! The one whose cross allowed me to enter. Clemens III. Clément III in French. How come his tomb ended up here and not in the Vatican? That was the Pope from the Middle Ages who inspired the Third Crusade. He gave the Roman people the power to elect their magistrates. He was basically an anti-pope. His path to the throne was pretty turbulent, and he had to be enthroned several times. The result of a long conflict between the papacy and the Holy Empire.
Yep.
This sarcophagus is beautifully made, but ancient. The stone is marked by the passage of time, but it's really well preserved.
I can't help but think maybe Mortimer is a noble demon, for lack of a better phrasing. You know, one that genuinely does want... Examine.
I can see that this spear has a so-called leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. I can see the tip is engraved with the symbol of the Eye of Ra.
Nope. Not it.
This one has no name. I wonder who it was for.
Oh boy. So, how do I progress here? Or did I take a wrong turn at Albuquerque? Oh, okay, there's a bunch of... Wow, there's a lot of different areas here. Let's see, that's back to the entrance. Okay, this is where I came first, then.
Flavius Aetius. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories. But how did he end up here?
Did he just say emperor?
Flavius Aetius. I remember. He was the Roman general who defeated Attila and his hordes in the terrible battle of the Catalonian plains. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories. But how did he end up here?
Let's see, nothing. Oh, here's one.
Well, here we can see this lance has a leaf shape, is gold rimmed, and
Nope.
a fish is engraved on the tip.
Gold. Okay, good. This is a dead end. Kind of what I was hoping for.
This sarcophagus has been ravaged by time. It's sort of ageless, I guess. It's entirely sculpted. Is this the tomb of a king? Judging by all the sculpted symbols of power, this is really ancient.
Looks like a Sumerian one?
Inscriptions are all eroded. I don't know what those marks mean, but maybe a stone or epitaph. These symbols, these grooves, cuneiform script. This is humanity's oldest alphabet, the language of Babel. Sadly, no one today even knows how to decipher it. There's also some text engraved beneath in ancient Greek, Sargon. Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Nope, not at all. I'm not even examining that one. Oh boy. That's a blank. Oh, leaf shape, but I think gold.
We can see that this lance has a leaf shape, and, well, it's in gold. I can see that a crucifix is engraved on the tip, just barely visible.
Nope. So yeah, red-hued. Okay, this one is too prominent to...
Let's take a look at this lance here. It has a very special leaf shape. It is copper rimmed, and I can see a fish symbol engraved on the tip. I must be sure of my choice, though. I can't pick the wrong one. Am I really sure this is the one to take?
I'll do move back for now. I'll take a look at the rest. Okay, here's another obvious one. Not a leaf shape. Here we are. Shape of a boar spear. Ah, okay. I didn't realize that he had told me that. I'm glad I consulted the notes. So yeah, the boar spear would be the more pointed one, not the leaf.
The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer.
Cataphile.
Let's see what we can find here. It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription. Let's see what we can find here. Ha! Great! Now let's see what's in...
Vandal. Oh, traits.
The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer. Let's see what we can find here. Ha! Great! Now let's see what's inside.
Oh, I lost out on them? Damn. Oh, well. Alright. I'm glad I backed out of the one.
This lance has a leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. The symbol of the Christian fish is engraved on the tip. This lance has a leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. The symbol of the Christian fish is engraved on the tip.
And it's very... it looks blood-coated.
I can see this lance has a spear shape. It is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip. I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip.
I want to say it was over there then, because it was the one I didn't even look at, thinking that it was an obvious misdirect. That's gold. So there are... I'm glad they do, or he does spell it out as being a boar spear, because I legitimately wouldn't have been able to determine that myself.
Well, we can see that this lance has a particular spear shape. It is coated in gold. You can distinguish the symbol of the fish engraved on the tip, barely noticeable.
Okay, so it's the one surrounded by fire over there. I think. I don't know. The particular spear shape. What the fuck does that even mean? I mean, seriously, that is about as helpful as a check engine light.
I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip. I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip.
I think that's the one I've got to take then.
I must be sure of my choice. I cannot get it wrong. Am I absolutely sure this is the one to take?
Infiltrator. Now, thing is that like the, you know, you have picked which one you think is Emily. Jeez. Alright, gotta head to the wharf. What? Oh, shit! I fucked up. I think I don't know. Because it just occurred to me, Piaggi, speaking as Holm, was the one to tell me it was shaped like a boar spear. But then again, I mean, the God damn, this one is a mind... Then again, maybe none of them was it. Ah, shit. Well, I plan on replaying at some point anyway. Let's see. Diversion. Okay, I'll go with diversion, where the... There we are. And I'm kept. Leap of faith.
I'm already pressed for time as it is. Mother's waiting for me on the wharf.
Ah, damn it.
De Richet, sticking your nose everywhere again.
Wow, what's the matter with him? Excuse me, monsieur. I don't follow you.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
Why? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Piaggi and Volner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him, immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick. Look, I don't know what you're going on about, and I don't have time for this right now.
Don't bank on getting rid of me so easily, De Richet. Where have you been?
Did Lord Mortimer tell you you could trust me?
Yes, but...
So, I'm working for him right now, and you're wasting my time with your questions. Look, if he hasn't taken you into his confidence...
Oh, let's see. So Bonaparte is... etiquette is the main one.
You shouldn't know yet.
I'll soon figure out what you are up to. And I am convinced that you have indeed robbed Mortimer. The game is up. Give me what you took from him.
You know, this is becoming an obsession with you.
Show me what you are carrying, or I will...
Let's see. Conviction politics.
Remind me, who did you hear making those alleged charges against me?
His Eminence Piaget and Monsieur von Wollner were discussing them when I joined them.
And remind me, during the conference, which side were His Eminence and Mr. von Wollner on?
Sir Gregory. But what has that got to do with it?
And did it not occur to you for a single instant that they might have been speaking about me in front of you on purpose? To manipulate you? I trust them to detect novices who are likely to be taken in, yes.
Those sons of whores. Ah! So that's how they see me.
Be careful to make sure the conference keeps on going ahead smoothly, though. Please. It would grieve me to have to report you to Lord Mortimer.
No, of course. I'll make sure those two bastards get what they've got coming. Right. We'll leave it there. I'm glad that things have been cleared up.
So, are we finished here?
Indeed we are. I shall leave you.
That's right. Go play somewhere else. See you later, monsieur. Come on. I have to hurry up and join my mother at the
Yet another person that didn't actually, you know, mention the hand. And that is a bit of an oversight on the developer's part. Making sure I'm not missing anything here. Oh yeah, basically the hogs to the slaughter idea. Not exactly. Oh. Good day.
Am I disturbing you?
Monsieur de Richet, it seems you are everywhere.
At least he hasn't noticed my arm.
Was Mr. von Wollner able to help you?
Help me?
Yes. For your armillary sphere.
Oh, yes, that.
Louis, everything all right?
Yes. Excuse me, I was miles away.
Oh, while you're here, you wouldn't know who the last guest is, would you?
What do you mean?
I heard Sir Gregory speaking about it. A certain Al-Asif something or other.
Who? What?
Obviously not. It's not important. Forget it.
No, hang on.
It doesn't matter, I'm telling you. We'll find out soon enough. I'm in a hurry right now. I'm waiting for someone. See you later, Louis.
Shit. I haven't time either. See you later.
Here we are. Emily, I'm guessing? Mortimer.
Louis. Perfect timing.
As luck would have it.
Come, my boy. I would like to have a word with you.
Oblige. Can't exactly,
Come closer, please. It's time we had a little chat. I wanted you... Oh, no, your hand. Damn it, no! So that's it. She is prepared to use you.
What do you mean?
It wasn't enough for her to lose her hand. She had to make you lose yours, too. I cannot permit this to continue. Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road.
The wrong road?
Louis, Sarah has made her own choices of her own free will, and I would like for you to have the same chance. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory. About me, about Gregory, About the demons. She's right.
What?
Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this dear William Mortimer.
Okay. I didn't anticipate that one.
You're the devil incarnate.
The devil? I'm not saying that all Judeo-Christian folklore hasn't served us, but the truth is, of course, something quite different. Please, don't look at us through the primitive prism of religion.
Not what I was
I
intending
am
to
not
pick
hiding
anyway.
any horns or goat's feet, Louis. I have no tail.
Why do you bring up folklore? You mean that you've taken advantage of people's beliefs?
No, not exactly. I mean that we in fact created them from scratch. It is amazing to see how mankind has such a strong need to believe in something superior to itself. It was very instructive for what was to come.
Lucifer,
That's what I meant to
the
pick.
fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668 angels. Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculous. We are not angels. We don't have wings. There is certainly nowhere near 1,000,000 of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family. But it is very difficult to know exactly how many of us there are, because a large number of our kind remain hidden, or never reveal themselves even to us.
This is suddenly making sense. That's why they call together the council, and why they never have a direct vote.
And you truly have the power to manipulate the thoughts of men.
That's right. Every demon has the capacity to infiltrate the minds of men and to read and steer their thoughts.
And what do you do with this power?
We help them, of course.
Of course you do. And you expect me to believe that, I suppose.
Shit.
Louis, demon is just a word. It all depends on what exists beneath the surface. I understand that this isn't easy. The culture of men is centered on the fact that demons are responsible for all the evils on Earth.
But if it's the same in every single culture, then maybe there might be something to it. Don't you think?
Certainly there is something to it. Control. Man has spent his existence wishing to believe in the supernatural and imposing his belief on others. What could be more convenient for manipulating the masses? A perfect, inaccessible being, and a plethora of demons in every one. The perfect idea to relieve men of all responsibility, while still finding them guilty.
Can you tell me more about your capacities, your
I have a feeling
supernatural
that,
powers?
Supernatural? From my point of view, they are perfectly natural. Well, Louis, just because the monkey does not fly, doesn't mean that we should consider the bird a supernatural creature. We are all part of a grand design. We are simply made like this. By developing our art, we are able to read thoughts as well as write in the minds of men. It is possible for us to make them bow to our desire, but it doesn't work without leaving some scars.
I get the sinking suspicion that Louis might be part demon.
You've been Mortimer for 600 years? How long have the demons been among mankind?
Oh, I don't think I'd be lying if I said that we have always been here.
If I follow you, you must have witnessed some of the greatest moments in history.
You could certainly say that, yes.
Did you know ancient Greece?
In many ways, yes. One day Pericles, the next Parmenides. Just the memory of the time I spent working on acoustics with Pythagoras. Well, it moves me quite deeply, to tell the truth.
Pericles. He's the one who brought Athens to its golden age, isn't he?
In a way, yes.
He established democracy and then died during an epidemic. It wasn't so long after his 2 sons passed away. Isn't that right?
Excuse me, Louis. I would rather not relive any more of that, if you don't mind.
I've noticed that you have a passion for the Crusades.
Among other things, yes. Mainly the third. It was during the siege of St. Joan of Arc that I took possession of Lord Mortimer.
And you've never changed skins or bodies since?
I have used other envelopes, but only to carry out very short tasks.
Including
Apart
with
from
my
that,
mother.
indeed, I have been able to retain the identity of William Alexander Mortimer throughout the centuries.
Did you know ancient Egypt?
Oh, yes, yes. We were gods on earth in those days.
What did men call you then?
Amenhotep IV.
The 10th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty?
Ooh, I see you're a connoisseur, Louis. Impressive.
Did you experience ancient Rome?
Oh, yes. Luxury and decadence, Louis. My family did indeed reign supreme, but from this period I retain only the works of my friend, Marcus Vitruvius Pollio.
You seem to be fascinated by Christ. You weren't him, were you?
Oh, no, not at all. He was my father, though. Strange as it seems.
I beg your pardon? Am I dreaming? Ugh, please tell me I'm dreaming.
We should have the chance to talk about all that again later, but yes, he was my father. All the mythology surrounding Jesus of Nazareth really stems from my father's prideful need to show himself among men.
Okay.
How would you qualify your species, scientifically?
Good question. What is your area of expertise?
Universalist.
Given the choice, I'd choose philosophy.
So, consider us as an idea, Louis. We are but a word in the minds of men. But this word is capable of anything. Empires have been built on words.
What has my mother got to do with all this?
She embarked on a crusade many years ago to kill all the demons.
Yeah.
That must have upset you. I imagine you retaliated.
No, I'm afraid she never forgave me.
Forgave what?
We met when she was still just a young woman.
He
I
deceived
appeared
her.
to her in a different form because I didn't want to reveal the identity of Lord Mortimer at that time. She was looking for someone interested in the occult to decipher an
Okay,
ancient
so that
book.
pairs
We spent
up.
many years together, until I revealed my true nature to her.
And yeah, I'm noticing that myself because I just finished the previous episode and realized that I got the information about the shape of the spear from Piaggi, and that Piaggi was under the control of Gregory Holm. So I think I may have chosen the wrong spear inadvertently.
The old book was Al-Azif, wasn't it?
Did she speak about it?
Not so long ago, yes.
Indeed, it was already Al-Azif. She wanted to unlock the secrets.
But why me?
Why do
Yeah.
I tell you about the greatest secret ever revealed to man?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm coming to that. Don't worry.
He's my father, isn't he?
Why should I trust you?
I'm not asking you to, Louis. If you are still in doubt about the demons, I can assure you that won't last long.
What are the demons' projects for humanity?
Our aim has long
This.
since been to protect humanity from itself. On the other hand, although we give them the impulse to succeed, we don't all agree as to the path they take to achieve it.
Hence the council meetings, and yeah.
Continue.
Louis, it's time you opened your eyes. Come, you'll soon see.
After you. Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the patriarchal control of my father. As he and myself are not really on very good terms, Sending poor Elizabeth here was terribly rude of him, really.
You did accept, though.
No, I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home.
Meaning what?
You're the one who killed her.
The poor girl was condemned, Louis. Don't you think it better that she stopped living like a slave, being mentally raped by my father since the day she was born?
Wait. Your father was inside her? Your father was the demon that... Okay.
You're joking. You don't know everything. She might have recovered from everything she had suffered.
Between the unyielding control of my father and your mother's terrible treatments, I wouldn't wish a life like that on anyone.
But that was still not your decision to make.
It is also true I felt obliged to get rid of her. You'll understand one day. You'll see.
Not when she was of sound.
So, von Borchert.
Yeah.
He was looking for the Al-Azif for you.
Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis. And with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What? You mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Sarah came here with it and got rid of it. I was thinking of von Borchert. He isn't essential, but he is a trusted person.
He's a prisoner at our headquarters in Paris.
All right.
Okay, I couldn't have... I learned from von Volner that Sir Gregory has the Al-Azif. Why haven't I been able to mention this to him or his mother? Good lord.
If you could manipulate us mentally, what's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
To bring us to the
You
conclusion.
must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons.
Ah.
Many of us were killed.
So demons can be killed.
The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries of the world. Now, whenever one of us wanted to propose a major change between these countries, they summon the demon in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are allowed to be persuasive but not to impose our will. A second meeting closes the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game,
Not necessarily.
I understand your remark, but after...
Let's see, Mortimer...
several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what reflection and pleasure you can.
And yeah, I'm really regretting having told Sir Gregory about his idea. Because Sir Gregory, I don't think, has their best interests in mind. He, I know, is looking after the U.S. with Washington. And I believe France with Napoleon? But I'm not sure. Whereas Gregory, I think, is primarily concerned with England and Spain, perhaps, maybe Germany. Hard to say.
But how do you agree on global policy?
Locally, we often have competing interests, and sometimes we start wars between men which are linked to our disagreements. Most of the time, our father steps in and gives directives, which my family follow to the letter. Indeed, in my opinion, it is high time we moved on.
What do you mean?
I mean that a new era must begin. The old monarchic regimes are outdated, and it's time to evolve.
Hence the democracy push in both France and America. Issue is, I know in France it won't last at least for a little while longer. And then with the issue is, by giving up the monarchies, it's a lot harder to control.
I hope I've answered all your questions, Louis. Come, I have something to show you.
It's hard to decide whether he's being
There is one question that remains to be answered. Why me? Why tell me all of this?
Oh. Haven't you guessed yet?
You're my father.
I've got an idea, but it might seem stupid.
Trust me.
Am I one? I mean, am I a demon?
Would you like that?
I'm not sure. I kind of wish there were a third option here, just like, I'm not sure. It would explain a few things.
I must admit that the idea is appealing.
Look, we are of the gods, Louis.
I was right.
Always have been. You, as much as me, you are one of us, Louis. You too are a demon.
Are you serious?
You know it. Deep down inside, you know I am telling you the truth.
It explains the
Where
visions.
do you think that natural, charismatic presence comes from? Your talent must already have manifested itself somehow.
And I have to admit, this is a setup on par with, I would say, the Sith Lords, the Knights of the Old Republic 2, where it was revealed that part of how you were regaining the connection to the Force, and spoilers, by the way, for that game, but how you were regaining connection to the Force was through your allies. So it had that integration of gameplay and storyline, which is always a nice thing to see. So, as predictable as the twist was...
Have you ever had any visions?
No. Stop it. It's absurd.
Have you never found yourself suddenly inside someone else's body, without knowing why?
No.
Whilst asleep, maybe? That's how it often happens the first time. Your spirit wanders unconsciously.
My mother can't have lied to me about that.
It's true. Your real mother would never
Wait,
have
what?
lied to you.
What do you mean?
Louis, I would rather you found this out from her own lips, but it's important that you know. Sarah is not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry
Who
you had to
is?
find out this way, Louis. But you must know the truth before you commit an irreparable act.
No, no. No, it's not possible.
You are my son.
Who is his mother, then? I mean, that much I'm ready to accept.
Not too shaken up. You've experienced many significant events since your arrival.
To tell you the truth, I don't get much time to ask myself these questions.
Quite right. Best not to react to all this too suddenly. Take some time to think about it all. For now, I think you ought to find Sarah, my son. You ought to talk things over with her.
So she's been lying to me all along?
Let her justify herself. What's done is done. Sarah must explain herself. You must clear the air. We'll have all the time we need to talk afterwards. But all in...
And what happens if she pulls a gun on me?
Join her, I'd like to give you something. As a demon, I would like to introduce you to your first talent.
What do you mean?
Open your mind, my son. Relax. You hold immense power.
Okay, this is strongly
It's already
reminiscent
there,
of...
inside you. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Just let me show you the way.
The latest Guardian of the Galaxy.
Relax.
Open your mind. Hear my voice. Feel the vibrations and listen to what has been happening to you deep inside, but which you have been concealing. Trust yourself. It's all already in there.
I can hear something.
Now breathe.
It's a sound, very faint.
That's right. Concentrate on it. My voice is growing fainter, but I am here.
Whispers, words, mixed voices.
Reading thoughts?
Focus on one of them. Don't be afraid.
I sense a stream.
He can hear thoughts,
Some
I'm
words
thinking.
are clear, but not all of them.
Let them enter into your mind.
I hear them. Now
Sounds
now
like
I can hear
Emma,
a clear
Emily?
voice.
Well done, Louis. Congratulations.
What was it?
You are now able to read people's minds.
What?
You heard me. From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to
It'll be
read
easier to
their
suss out
current
deceptions.
thoughts. So, if you need to know something in particular from someone, all you
Huh.
have to do is make them think about
Nice bit of social engineering.
But I'd be violating their minds, wouldn't I?
No, nothing of the sort. You won't really be penetrating their psyches. Let's just say you'll be picking up residual signals emitted by their thoughts. It isn't intrusive at all, rest assured. There are also a few rules you need to know.
Yeah, I kind of figured that'd be something. And though, how that could backfire, though. There was an old Twilight Zone episode with... I'm trying to think. It was... Oh, trying to think which sitcom he was in. I want to say... It was either I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched. I want to say it was Darren in Bewitched, the original Darren. And, anyway, he managed to... He flipped a coin, it landed on its side, and from that point on during the day, he was able to read other people's thoughts. And one of the people he heard was someone planning a bank robbery. Turned out that it was someone thinking about robbing the bank, but it was a thought he'd had, just as a recurring idle thought for the past 20 years or so, while working at the bank.
That governed this talent, when used between ourselves. You can read the thoughts of demons, as well as of humans. But be careful. A demon more experienced than yourself will know that you are spying, and will often react quite violently. It's considered bad form to play around the psyche of another demon. It's a question of courtesy.
Like
But
not
let's be
interrupting
clear.
someone else.
What is most considered bad form is getting caught. So I would advise against trying to read the thoughts of Gregory, for example.
Home?
Yes, the old grump is touchy, and rather a stickler about the conventions. On that note, go and see Sarah, Louis. Otherwise, she might leave without you. We'll continue this discussion later, if you want. Just join me in my study when you've finished.
Oh, here we are. Each use of a mind reading costs 1 essence point. You earn 1 back when confronted to an immunity, 2 by exploiting a vulnerability, 3 by consuming Devil's Thorn.
Let's see what Mortimer's thinking about.
He is thinking he might not have been clear enough with you.
Arrogant.
When I told you not to try to read into Gregory or her experienced demons, it also
I think that was a
applied to
gimme.
me, of course.
You can hear me think?
Of course I can. I can sense you. For the moment, your mind shines like 1,000 lights because you haven't yet mastered the art of concealment from the psyches of others. So, I give you a weapon, and the first thing you do is try to shoot me with it? If my intentions were evil, you would already be at my mercy. So be very careful on whom you use the talent.
All right. Please excuse me.
And don't ever apologize, my son. You are far above that from now on. Now go. One more thing. If you want to know the truth about your birth, ask her about Paris, 1763, at 12 Rue des Martyrs. That's where she disemboweled your mother to steal you from me.
Fucking hell. Given what I saw her having done with Elizabeth in her efforts to excise the demon...
It's not that I regret all these discussions, but I must hurry to the wharf.
Oh. Okay, I'm out front, so let's see if I can find anything of interest out here first. Hurry to the wharf. I'm going to immediately search everywhere to make sure I'm not missing items. Especially since it's the first time. Yep. First time I've been out here since the very first episode. Oh, hey, I'll be able to unlock the one gate, too. So yeah, I'm finally getting this done. Nope, guess not. There we go. Alrighty. Well, let us see.
Emily, what are you doing here? You wouldn't have seen... Mother? No!
Well. Did I choose
No,
wrong?
what's No, Mother! No!
She's ruined my life, Louis. I am sorry.
What were you thinking?
Emma meant everything to me. Your mother destroyed everything by shooting her. She was me, and I was her. Dear God, I beg you, make him kill me. I've had enough of it all. I no longer have the strength in me.
I needed to talk to her. She was going to tell me everything.
I am sorry. I did what Emma would have done.
So I did choose right, though.
You're the one who killed Emma, not my mother.
And it wouldn't have happened if Sarah hadn't struck out at Emma first.
Forgot about that immunity.
Get out of here. Why have you always lied to me? Why didn't you ever tell me I was his son?
Okay, so... Oh. Huh. So how would I have done that, then? Not talking to, Lord Mortimer long enough, or what? Because I do plan on playing through again at some point. Primarily to try and save Peru and not lose the hand, as well as that one, maybe. Because I thought I was fairly well locked in on that conversation. New blood. Boy, that was a rather quick episode, too. Unworthy son. Ouch.
Rational and open. I spent my whole life swimming in lies. Emily.
Oh,
what a waste.
The shape of the spear in here.
I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse.
Great power, great responsibility.
This is an advantage. I could get used to this pretty quickly, I think. Damn it. What a mess.
Boy, that's a little
Come
jarring.
on. Man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers. There's no way of being alone for a minute.
Yeah, I could have looked at this picture and maybe seen the shape of the wound.
Sir
Yeah.
Gregory? Good day, Louis. I think it would be good to talk. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our family. It's a good thing, but you must be a bit shaken up.
That's the least you can say.
I bid you welcome among us, Louis. Knowing William, he probably didn't go into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
Is there a head of the family?
You'll see. You'll meet them all, of course, when you are ready. They created us and set out the rules, especially our father. As for our mother, she retired from the political stage. We don't see her much anymore. I think that all these questions simply bore her.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies.
How long have you inhabited that one?
Well, tell me then.
Is my question.
Are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
Well, at least I...
What do you mean, exactly?
Regenerated
Are you
that
trying
one.
to get information from me?
No, not at all. I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question, it seems.
What's Lord Mortimer's problem?
I think he allows himself to be devoured by a need for recognition.
Has he always been like that?
More or less, but thinking about it, I believe that the birth of our latest sibling greatly accentuated his discomfort.
Which
Do
sibling?
you think he's jealous?
I didn't realize you were so good at behavioral analysis. Indeed, William certainly is prone to jealousy. Finding one's place, notably in the eyes of our father, is not easy, and we each do what we can to succeed.
Who's
but
the
I can't justify this perpetual rebellion against our rules.
I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand, regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself, is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help, and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
But if your intention is not to dominate the human race, why not let them be master of their own destinies?
I perfectly understand this type of reaction from you, less from William. The main thing you're lacking is time. Man is transient, and one of his particularities is that he does not learn from the errors of his peers. He uses up an incredible amount of energy building and destroying whatever he himself has put into place. If we weren't here to help them, guide them, I sincerely believe that humanity would have become extinct by now. We are eternal, Louis. When we plan ahead, we do it for the long term.
Honestly, I understand that because I was even thinking about this just today. With the stock market especially, and a lot of private companies. They look at the next quarter or next half of the year because they want to keep beginning. Companies have pressure put on them because investors want to see exponential growth, which is unrealistic. Which means, I mean, Jim Sterling with the Jimquisition on YouTube pointed out that part of the problem is that investors and the companies that invest in them, or they invest in, seem to want to make all of the money. So when something doesn't perform up to expectation, it's considered a failure, even if it still excelled in how well it performed. It'd be like expecting the world record for the 100-yard dash to be broken every single Olympics. It's just not feasible. But yeah, that's why I'm gonna do I understand.
Well, indeed, from that point of view, it is better to guide them.
It's rare for a novice demon to manage to stop thinking like a man so quickly.
Yeah.
It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles.
The servants?
And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard.
Which...
I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
That, actually, that might be why he's pushing for democracy, because it then nullifies the ability of the other demons to take control and push their advantage.
Are you suggesting he might be in danger?
Well, Louis, our father's patience is not limitless. If William ever does go too far, then yes, he will be in danger. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now.
Yeah, pretty much, but like I said, the problem is that, as he pointed out, humanity as a whole kind of has an issue with that. As a collective, I should say. You know, the ones that can think long-term and rather can afford to think long-term, yeah, they have an advantage. But some people, well, I mean, there's a reason that people living paycheck to paycheck don't exactly always make the best choices, because, you know, if it's between eating and not eating, yeah.
I haven't the time.
Not exactly a tough call. Or, although then you're sometimes forced into a choice between, you know, do I get a good healthy meal for me and my kids, or do I make sure they have new schools for the school year?
Louis, busy as always,
shoes for
I
the
see.
school year.
How lucky you are. I must admit I'm trying to kill the boredom myself.
I get the impression we're all in the same boat.
And here I was thinking you might have some juicy gossip.
Me? No, nothing at all. And you?
I would like to be able to say yes, but it's been dead quiet. The only one with anything to say is Duke Manuel. But with that accent
Yeah, I don't
of his,
think
I don't
Alice...
understand a word he says. It's exasperating.
Right. I've wasted enough time. I'll keep our conversation to myself, Mr. President. Anyway, I must be going now.
See you later, Louis.
Yeah, I'm guessing I shouldn't have had the conversation with Manuel now, or, yeah, in the dining room. And maybe even have knocked out Napoleon. How deep is that pit? And why is it there, for that matter?
Louis, I was sure you would stay. I'm proud of you.
Yep.
You've made the right choice. You must have been disappointed not to have been able to speak to Sarah one last time. I would have liked her to tell you herself.
Well, I guess I'll never know now.
True. Even so, there is one more thing I haven't told you about her. Sarah was my daughter.
What? But why didn't you tell me the truth about her?
I thought that might be too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say.
Overwhelmed.
Confused about everything? I have to admit, it's been a lot to take in such a short amount of time.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time.
That was a bit of bad
From
clipping.
now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you.
Yeah.
With all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
Well, yeah, let's see. Conviction, science, etiquette.
I think he's worried about you.
Worried? Marvelous. That's just like him. You know, in a family like ours, we all have a role to play. And his is to worry about everyone else. Let me reassure you, there's no reason for him to worry about me.
Like the relationship with your father, for example.
It's sometimes complicated, I must admit. I like to understand things, even if it means thinking outside the box. In fact, that's a character trait that you seem to have inherited.
You haven't answered about your father.
What did I tell you? You are too curious, my son. Let time do its work. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past.
So is that why... Huh. Yeah, that ties into the whole rule by divine right.
It's happened. Many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
So that's your project?
Of course not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed.
Right in circuses.
A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas, if you give him a roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
Do you have any more examples?
Of course.
Talk to me about slavery.
Well, take the slave trade, for example. It's an archaic practice that simply has to stop. Today, black slaves of America work for free and in unbearable conditions. Tomorrow, if you free the blacks and offer them work along with a salary, they will bless you for it. Then, they will be integrated into the system. They will be taxable. Once they are free, they will have to work for a roof, pay taxes, and feed their families.
Utterly pragmatic standpoint.
Take away the civil rights of prisoners, for example. In this way, we'll keep control of all those who respect the system and benefit from the others as a workforce.
Yeah, I know, I'm the same way.
Tell me what you think about progress.
Progress is essential, Louis. It's the future.
What else?
Progress must liberate humanity from burdensome chores. Progress must replace man wherever his presence is not obligatory. It creates both the desire and the need. It will liberate women as soon as the machines are able to do all the chores in the home automatically. It will bring men together by bringing a faster means of locomotion. Look at the Cultural Revolution that printing brought about.
And what would you propose for women?
They must be given the right to work and to vote. Look, at the moment they don't work. They take care of raising children. What a mistake. We have to get them out of the house. Make them work. In this way, not only will they become consumers, but they will also delegate the job of education to the system. We could guide humanity from a young age, Louis, don't you see? Today we are wasting too much time.
Wow, this is conspiracy theory heaven right here.
What obscurantism. By harping on this concept of good and evil, guilt and redemption, look where men are now, locked up in beliefs that should no longer exist. It's time for men to rediscover themselves and to take control of their lives, as they really are, without any moral judgment. But the most important of all has already been laid. The foundation stone. Freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the Constitution. There must be opponents to every project. So, above all, don't develop a one-track approach. Otherwise, man won't have enough room for expression to feel free. If man sees his chains, he will only want to break them. If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed their limits. And it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what we really are?
Who do you mean? Demons?
Yes, us. Our species. I've been searching for centuries, trying to find a way to explain the reason of our existence. But humanity has not yet evolved enough to make any progress on the subject. I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are? I see your point.
Our family clings to its privileges and
That
to
was
the
a rather
past. And
quick
that's how
shift.
they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
How do you do it?
It's an animal resonance. How it works is still a bit unclear even to us.
Like a wave or a sound?
That seems the most likely, yes. In my opinion, demons are capable of tuning their psychic frequency to that of others. That is why, for example, I tend to surround myself with deaf and dumb servants. The servants dressed in black. I infiltrated them. I opened a channel between them and me, and then I deprived them of speech and hearing. This way, no other demon can turn them against me.
I don't see how I could do that.
I shall help you the first time.
That's a little barbaric.
Let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, but it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaget to inform the
You're going
Pope
to use
he
your
has
powers
changed
to alter the
sides.
votes?
The real game is about to begin.
Isn't
Louis.
that against
Up
the
till
rules of
now,
it?
The guests have been sizing each other up. From now on, it's time for Gregory and myself to play, as well as you yourself. Now, here is my plan.
And I would shift the
I would
balance
like
of
you
power.
to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Sorry, buddy. I bonked you on the head.
Yes. You're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself go. You have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me, and I'll send it off immediately.
So
All right.
I could sabotage.
I'll take care of it.
Is what I'm getting here. Yeah, I'll leave that on. There we go. Yeah, it's very metaphysical on this one. I mean, it got a lot more complex from episode 3. Heck, even episode 4. And I hope to see more games that follow this kind of vein, where it engages you through clever writing and dialogue. Because aside from, you know, the cut-off hand and murder subplots, yeah, it's been a very non-violent game.
Well, Louis, what brings you back to my chambers?
May I sit down?
Of course, Louis. Don't you feel good?
Yes, but if I'm gonna pass inside you, I'd better sit myself down first. It's nothing, don't worry about it.
Well, what can I do for you?
He also hasn't commented.
Now I need to concentrate. I wanted to speak to you, Your Eminence.
So yeah, Holm gave me the misdirect. There we
I
are.
wanted to thank you for your help. I mean, for your time talking to me about the Holy Lance.
Oh, and did you find it? It's the crusade of a lifetime for some people, Louis. You are searching for another Holy Grail.
You're nearly there. Link into his thoughts. Does it annoy you at all?
But what on earth is he trying to get at? Why do you ask, Louis? I don't follow.
For the glory, Your Eminence. I can feel it coming. It's working.
What insolence. Why, really? I am a man of the church, Louis. May God keep me from such ambitions.
Right. Let me in, Your Eminence.
Why?
Yeah. Okay, and that's what I saw before with Godoy.
I've done it. I've done it, damn it. He was right. This is just crazy. I can't believe it.
So
look at yourself, Louis. You better not get caught. Whoa. I still need to get used to this body. So, let's see about what Mortimer asked me. Right. Well, it's time I got started. Let's see what I can find here to help me write that letter. I have no means to validate my forgery, so I better take my time with it and not make any mistakes. There are 2 letters from the Pope on the desk. I should be able to get a clue or 2 by checking how well they correspond to each other. And here are 3 stamps. All are different.
As my health does not allow me to honor Sir Holmes' invitation. Okay, that was from the Pope to him. Naturally, you will give my thanks to your hosts. Consolidate our agreements with Sir Gregory and let him know that his venture regarding Cardinal Bishop Chiaramonti is following its course. Do not use your personal stamp when writing to me. Instead, use the one with my motto on it. Alright, so it's...
In one of the letters, the Pope asked Piaggi to change and to stop using his personal stamp. He asked him to use the one with the Pope's motto on it.
Which... Oh, here we are.
And I remember that. Flore in Domo Domini. Giustizia, misericordia e umiltà. Boy, I think it's in Italian. Justice, mercy, and humility.
Which is not right.
On it is written, Flore in Domo Domini. Latin, it blooms in the house of God.
Okay, that's the one.
Right. Well, let's start writing. Lord Mortimer asked me to discredit Sir Gregory and to announce Piaggi's final vote in his favor. As an introduction, Your Holiness, thank you for your trust. It turns out, now that I'm here, that I find Lord Mortimer's projects grant us many more advantages in comparison to what Sir Gregory had suggested. We are talking about the future of the Holy See. There. That should be enough to justify the change of vote.
Secret code?
There's a kind of code composed of 6 letters that they always write under the dates of their correspondence. According to Mortimer, it's got something to do with Piaggi's tattoo. I guess I'll have to write one for today's date. Now, ideally, it'd be better to do without it, but I'm going to need to be extremely clever here. Today, the date is 24/01/1793. In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year.
I've been here.
Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the
still
letter
going
of the
right now or
concentric
no?
circle and the number shown in the middle.
Because I'm able to see the chat yet. As well as the... Yeah, top left I'm seeing the time of the stream is hour 51, just past it.
Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code. Today the date is 24/01/1793.
So, oh, Lord. Let's see. 31 is I, 20... Oh, Lord.
In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters
Lord,
just
this
below
one
the
is a
date,
headache
2
here.
just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the number shown in the middle. Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code. Today the date is 24/01/1793.
Okay, here we are. So, let's see. 01 I'm assuming would be EH. But how is this determined? That's the question I've got. Let's see, so 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute, 7 days to there, then only 4 days to there? That can't be right. Plus, that does nothing for the year. And wouldn't 17 be E? Or, Lord.
Today the date is 24/01/1793.
I think it'd be, yeah.
Today the date is
what it was already written as.
24/01/1793.
Because it ignores the date, or it ignores the day. EAHBFC. Or
Today the date is 24/01/1793.
EHBCBF. HBCF.
Today the date is 24/01/1793. Today the date is 24/01/1793. Today is the 24/01/1793.
01/1793. I'm reasonably sure it'd be the exact same. Because it...
Today the date is 24/01/1793.
Oh, Lord, this is... Okay.
In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the number shown in the middle. Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code.
So I'm thinking it has to be the same one.
Today the date is 24/01/1793. Today is the 24/01/1793.
Oh, no. Changing the first letter again.
Today the date is 24/01/1793. Today is the 24/01/1793.
Okay, I think that's it.
Your Eminence, all ready to send the... What's he doing here?
Damn it. That's all I need.
Don't worry, he can't hear us.
What do you mean he can't hear us? What's going on here, Piaggi?
Let's see. Von Volner, diversion. Occultism, oh hell no.
The old goat is going to drop us. The lousy turncoat. Well, he'd better not tell me he just fell asleep.
Calm down now. Monsieur de Richet came to see me because he was having anxiety attacks and wanted something to help him relax. I'm afraid I've been a little heavy-handed.
You can say that again.
I was about to fetch someone to take care of him. Would you care to go?
There he is. And there he stays. The perfect.
He's about to murder me, isn't he?
What do you mean?
It's been a while now that I've been hoping for a chance to get rid of him.
No, listen, my son. This is all getting out of hand.
Hogwash! I don't trust him in the slightest.
Why not?
Can you keep a secret?
Of course, my son. Would you like to tell me under the confidentiality of confession?
Ach, don't talk rubbish. I don't trust the little runt because he is Mortimer's son.
How did you find out?
How does he know?
Dear God, how is that possible? I am flabbergasted.
We've wasted enough time. What if he wakes up? If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just turn away and leave everything to me.
This is not a decision to be taken lightly.
You're defending him now.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
He's made you change sides, hasn't he?
Holm would be against it, I think.
Committing a crime in my room is out of the question. Think, it will all be on our heads. No doubt about it. I refuse to run the risk.
Right.
Monsieur von Volner, I always act in the best interest of all. I assure you.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
You must have lost your mind to want to take such an extreme course of action.
No one's asking you to help me do it.
If you lay a finger on him, I'll denounce you to Sir Gregory. I'm warning you.
You old weasel! Very well, Piaggi, you win.
I refuse to let you do the first thing that comes into your head.
I don't know what the two of you are up to, but I'll find out sooner or later.
Right. Time for me to get back into my body.
Oh, God.
Right. Don't just stand there, Louis. Mortimer's waiting for you in the Red Salon.
Close call. There it is. Without actually using diversion. Yeah, I think I may have picked the wrong spear type. I'm not sure. Now, can I talk to Emily?
Emily? Can I come in?
No, it's not a good time. Not right now. Leave me alone.
I can tell from your voice that there's something wrong. Let me in. We have to talk, Emily.
I said no, goddamn you.
I'm going in anyway, because I suspect she might be about to kill herself. Or she's just blitzed.
You've been drinking. Why aren't I surprised? Do you think you'll find the solution in alcohol?
Get out of here, Louis. I told you not to come in.
First your sister, now my mother? How far will your anger go?
Do you really think I'm not suffering? You know nothing. You understand nothing.
On the contrary, everything that goes on in here is much bigger than you and me. You made your choices and now you're going to have to take responsibility for them. Look, I must tell you something important. Emily, listen to me.
I'm fed up with talking.
It's about what's happening here. It's about Mortimer and Holm.
I know they are demons.
That's not all.
Go on.
I'm one of them, Emily. I'm a demon too.
I know.
But how?
Sir Gregory stopped by to tell me. He wanted to bid me a welcome.
I don't understand.
Welcome to the family.
She's a demon as well?
You're his daughter?
Mortimer's daughter, Louis.
That makes you my sister?
Yes. Just the thought of the night when I suggested that we... I feel so
okay, that's a new wrinkle.
Louis. And that means Emma is your sister too.
Oh, shit. The night with my sister?
I was attracted to you from the moment we first spoke on the boat. And now I understand why. Do you realize what that means? I'm a monster.
And I am one as well. When I think of my feelings for you, that feeling, it hurts all of a sudden. I can feel her inside me. She's trying to read my thoughts. Emily, don't do that. Get out of my mind, please. Let me remind you that it's forbidden between demons.
Sorry, Louis. I didn't want to.
I have a sister.
It's very strange for me too. A sister for a brother.
Yes.
Yes. I must get some rest. I must ask you to leave me now.
All right, but don't finish that bottle.
Don't start now. I would like to get some sleep.
I'll be leaving you then. Thank you, Emily.
Honestly, what sprang to mind just now was Joe Dirt with him trying... Wow, yeah. She started out here, apparently. Oh, no, that's the... Yep, she's passed right out. Fair enough. But Joe Dirt, there was a gag in there where he's talking about trying to track down his sister and thinking it was... or having slept with a woman and only having realized that a woman he had been flirting with might have been his sister. Trying to go over to her house to talk about it, winding up sleeping with her, only to learn that she wasn't his sister, and him joking around that... trying to think of how to set this up. Because he joked around that essentially they had tried to go for a round 2 and it didn't work until she started dirty talking that she was his sister again. I thought it was in the Red Salon. Oh, yeah, other room. Never mind. What is this room? The lounge? And yeah, I have a feeling that trying to play one against the other would go very badly here. Yeah, the last episode was very short.
Duke Manuel?
Monsieur Bonaparte stood me up. Would you believe it?
Ah, the French.
So tell me, what can I do for you?
Earlier, you mentioned the arrival of a certain Ala Chief.
No. Al-Asif. I spoke to you about a certain Al-Asif.
Oh, sorry.
Mortimer and Gregory's father.
Al-Azif, then.
My grandfather, essentially.
Al-Asif. It's not really all that difficult to remember. I wonder what role he is to have in all of this. It should not be long before we find out. According to Sir Gregory, he will be arriving just before the conference starts.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry to have troubled you. I'll be leaving now.
Perfect! I was going up to my room anyway. See you later.
So, Holm has planned something to do with the Al-Azif just before the next conference.
And I think I picked the wrong spear because Holm misdirected me and I bought into it hook, line, and sinker.
So, Louis, what was your first time like? Bewildering, isn't it?
Here's your letter. I have to admit that the experience was utterly amazing.
Come, tell me more.
I didn't have to do it twice, though.
Well, honestly, my stomach was just turning in circles.
That reminds me of my first time. Ooh, but you did it.
And home.
Gregory, what can I do for you?
I've just come to make sure dear Louis has all the information he needs.
Needs for what?
You are free to make your own choices, William. I would like the same for him, too.
There's nothing I want more, Gregory.
Your schemes will lead to your demise, brother. Don't involve Louis. He has nothing to do with all this. The end of the conference approaches, and this masquerade will soon be torn asunder. Don't drag him down with you in your disgrace.
Oh, ye of little faith.
On the contrary, brother, Louis has just entered the family. Give him a chance to find his place.
His place?
What place is that?
At the end of a leash, like all the others.
Don't listen to him. He's angry with our father.
And with good reason. He governs us in the same way he governs humanity. Through fear and submission.
Same old tune. When will you understand that it's necessary to impose order for things to move forward properly?
You are under his thumb and proud of it. Open your eyes, for crying out loud. His whole system has become outdated, and he's too old to see it. He will lead us to our demise.
Here he goes with another of his grand speeches. William has always been fond of staging big scenes. It's his theatrical side.
Does he have an inferiority complex?
I've told him time and time again, Louis. He always has to take it one step too far.
How dare you? You are blind, brother. Even if the evidence bit you on the nose, you still wouldn't see it. I feel sorry for you.
Tea is drunk hot or not at all, William. When will you learn?
This has got to be symbolic.
It's too bitter. You shouldn't let it brew so long.
I knew you'd be coming along. You are so predictable.
He drugged
Methodical, I would say. Things must be accomplished in the right order if we want the world to keep turning as it does.
When you speak of the right order, I can't help hearing your order.
Louis, wouldn't you think that by now we've acquired a certain experience? Don't you think that we are the best place to know what the right order should be by now?
I mostly understand that even with the best of intentions, this kind of talk could well be misinterpreted. Every powerful man has had to speak in this way at some stage. That doesn't mean that they were right or that they achieved great things. Take the kings of France, for example. They weren't all good monarchs.
You see, Louis, Gregory came here to make you change your mind. It's time for things to change. I acknowledge Father has done many good things for humanity, but his time is over, and now he must pass on the torch.
That's enough. There, Louis. That's the pathetic example your father has to offer. I really am sorry about what happened to you. You don't know our family yet. We can't have given you a very good impression, but bear in mind that we are all against William's project.
On the contrary.
If he insists on going through with it, we will have no other choice than to intervene by force. Consequently, my dear Louis, you're going to have to choose sides. I would much rather have met you in different circumstances.
There you are, Louis. See what happens when you don't follow their orders to the letter.
Louis, I'm afraid the time to decide is now.
Okay, final choice of the episode, I think.
If you follow William, he will drag you down with him. If, on the other hand, you support me, I can assure you that nothing will happen to you. You won't be blamed for your father's errors.
Ah, the masks are off. I offer you liberty. He obliges you to choose, and shamelessly asks you to betray your own father. That is their true face.
Right. Before I answer, well, I'd better think it over very carefully. Do I intend to embrace my demon nature and take my place on the chessboard? Do I stay out of it and do my utmost to stop them? Or do I renounce my nature and do all I can to stay human?
Yeah, it's kind of incontrovertible, really.
It's useless trying to resist my true nature. I'm a demon. May as well accept it. The sooner the better. Even if I continue to live as a human, all my friends and acquaintances will inevitably end up dying. And I'll be left on my own, forever. I'm a demon and I have to behave like one. The sooner, the better.
So? What do you choose, Louis?
I'm thinking Mortimer.
I shall follow my father, Sir Gregory.
Very well. But don't say
Now,
I didn't warn you.
Please, don't take offense, but I just can't turn my back on him.
It's time we finished what we started, brother. The final vote of the conference over the acquisition of Louisiana will take place in a few hours. I propose you gather your troops and prepare to close the debate.
That's precisely what I was going to suggest.
Come, follow me.
Now, what bugs me here is that, I mean, for one, I haven't been able to mention the Al-Azif to him at all. Same with Sarah. And, let's see, if I don't get the chance to mention that Emily knows that she's his daughter, that will be a missed opportunity as well. And equally frustrating. So is Napoleon still himself?
Do you really think we have a chance of winning?
A chance? You don't know me very well, Louis. We are going to win.
But it only takes one person to vote against us, and we'll have lost.
That's true. That's why none of them will. Why? Because I have an asset that they do not.
Which is?
You. My friends, prepare yourselves.
Where's
The
Washington?
conference is about to resume. The
Oh
time has
shit,
come
that's right,
to
I
lay
convinced
down
him otherwise.
all our cards.
Oh, holy shit. Got every single one. Unfortunately, I still don't have any... Let's see. There we go. That should be a talent unlocked. Specialist. Oh, okay. And that is the end of the episode. Rather anticlimactic, but there it is. So, I will see you either tomorrow night or the night after for the final episode in the series. Hope to see you then.